Israel and Lebanon, calling it his 10th war stopped. But Israel is already sounding cautious, warning the truce will be closely watched. Now, is this peace or just a pause before the next escalation? That's the central question we are answering today. Donald Trump faces fresh accusations of visa hypocrisy. This after restoring H-2B quotas. Reports indicate the reversal came after private lobbying from allies linked to his own businesses. Critics are now asking, was this a policy decision or just personal interest at play? We break it down. Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner is back in the White House, but without a title, without any role, and definitely without any accountability. Reports say he's operating as a volunteer with direct access to the president. There's no confirmation and no oversight. This has raised serious questions on power behind the scenes at the White House. America's missing minds mystery persists. That's right, the White House has now moved from silence to urgency, admitting a review on the disappearance and deaths of 10 top scientists, which is now underway. And a sharp surge in net worth has reshuffled the very top of India's billionaire list. That's right, Gautam Adani is now Asia's richest man, overtaking Mukesh Ambani in the latest rankings. Welcome to India Global viewers. And well, tonight we take a step away from the relentless headlines and the week's harder stories. That's right, this Friday, our lead highlights a special journey of literary excellence that is putting an Indian voice on the global stage. That's absolutely right. The International Booker Prize has just been announced. They've announced their 2026 shortlist. And among the 6 finalists is Canadian-American translator of Indian origin, Padma Viswanathan. And well, she's being recognized for her masterful translation of Ana Paula Maia's dystopian Brazilian novel. It's a story of power, it's a story of history, and of course, an incredible linguistic craft. Joining us now straight from Canada is Padma Viswanathan. Padma, first and foremost, many congratulations to you. And my first question to you really is, what is the first thing that came to your mind when you heard of the nomination?
I have strange reactions to amazingly good news. So I just sort of froze like a deer in the headlights, I suppose. And then started thinking about logistics. I'm going to be strangely, I'm normally very flexible at that time of year, but I'm going to be on holiday with my son in East Asia at that time. So I will be coming to London from Hong Kong, and my husband will be joining me from Arkansas. And above all, though, I was just thrilled for Ana Paula. I mean, her novel, which I had the privilege of bringing into English, is so deserving and has gotten so much attention as a result of this. It's really thrilling for her. And I'm going to get to meet her for the first time at the ceremony. So.
That's right, Padma. But how did this book come to you initially? And more importantly, what made you say yes to translating such a tedious work?
I mean, what's actually quite funny is that I met the Carolina Orloff, who founded Charco Press, the publisher of this book. I first met her at the Booker party 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I was there as a +1 of my dear friend Daniel Hahn, with whom I am now co-editing the Penguin Book of Brazilian Short Stories. And I was living in London with my family that year, and Danny asked me if I would be his +1 for the party. And Carolina had already been in touch with me about possibly doing a project with them. And so we chatted. And then I don't remember exactly how long after, but shortly after, she approached me about doing 2 books by Ana Paula. And I think, I mean, I'm always weighing a lot of different projects, but when the press that is the premier publisher now of Latin American literature in English. I would say premier. I mean, it really, like, they are a dedicated list. They do such beautiful books, and this is the first book of Ana Paula's, translated by Zoe Perry, that they brought out. I'm just such a fan of their list, so I had to take it quite seriously. And of course, I was quickly absorbed into the book once I accepted and started working on it.
Right, Padma. And also, we absolutely know that you have Indian roots. Now, is there still some sort of grounding, some sort of grounding feeling that maybe coming from Indian roots? And how do you approach your work and your process?
Yes, I don't even know where to start with that. As I said, I was born in Canada, but to Indian immigrant parents. We went back every 4 or 5 years when I was young. And then in my 20s, I went back, I think, every 2 years. And, my first novel is set entirely in Tamil Nadu. It's a historical novel. It's based on stories my grandmother, who came to live with us in Canada when I was 9, stories she told me about her grandmother who raised her. So I spent years immersed in research for that, interviewing relatives, spending as much as 6 months at a time in India. And so all of that has gone certainly into my fiction and into my formation as a person. I live in Arkansas now. I had one child when I was in graduate school in Arizona, my second child here. And my parents, when our first baby was born, came to live in Tucson. And when we moved here to Arkansas, we built them, we needed a garage. We built them a little apartment on top of it. And so they lived with us for 15 years, my parents. And so all of that means that through them, India is always part of my daily life. Now that our children are older, it's coming back more and more for me. And in fact, this summer, I will be spending 9 weeks in Madurai doing a language intensive in Tamil. I'm barely conversant. I can read and write, this, my parents' native language, but not to my satisfaction. And I'm writing a book right now that takes place partly in Tamil Nadu, and hope to write another. And so I'll be spending the summer there. But also, just last weekend, I attended the Living Tamil Lit Fest, which is the first American iteration of a festival founded by Jayamohan, very much lauded Tamil writer. And last weekend in New York City was the first American iteration. My husband, who's also a translator, and I were very privileged to attend. So yes, very much in touch with India as well, and very much feel like it's a part of my, let's say, literary genetic makeup.
Absolutely, Padma. And once again, thank you so much for taking out the time from your busy schedule and joining us here. Needless to say, I'll be keeping an eye out for our Madurai conversation. Hopefully, it's longer than today. Once again, thank you so much. And viewers, time now to bring you the latest top updates from West Asia. Here's a quick look at where things stand right now when we get you this broadcast. First and foremost, US President Donald Trump has announced a historic 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, and he's also claimed it to be the 10th war that he's stopped. Over in Beirut, gunshots were heard on Thursday, although unlike previous days, these were fired in celebration. However, the ceasefire still remains on uncertain grounds as violations were reported in Lebanon due to Israeli artillery shelling. Listen in.
From day one, Tehran has been mocking Trump always, and whatever he says, and they always literally ridicule it, and they know they have set their goals. As we have been reporting from day one, they had very seasoned diplomatic team which were negotiating with US, and now instead of Trump or anyone else, Iran is giving credit to this ceasefire to Pakistan, and in particular Asim Munir, Jalal Asim Munir. So they are saying they have achieved their objectives not only in Iran, but also through the ceasefire in Lebanon as well. Because achieving the ceasefire in Lebanon is actually making it accepting Iran's larger, what they call, axis of resistance. And they have said it from day one, look, it would not be us only, it will be also everyone, including Hezbollah here. So there has to be peace. Because yesterday, MB Kalibak said first that We and Hezbollah, Iran and Hezbollah are one soul, and we are one in ceasefire and one in war.
Meanwhile, behind enemy lines, Israel's UN ambassador has said that the ceasefire in Lebanon will need to be watched very carefully. And he also stressed that if Israel feels threatened, it will react. He stressed that Israel's problem is not with the Lebanese government, but with Hezbollah, which Israel believes will continue to challenge direct negotiations with Lebanon. Here's a report from NDTV's Pradeep Datta from an underground war room in Israel's Haifa.
No windows, no sunlight. All you see here are screens, maps, and a strong resolve to defend northern side of Israel and save people from any kind of crisis and eventuality and ensure their safety. Right now, I'm 50 meters underground. This is Haifa's war room, from where they can keep an eye on each and every activity. And it will not be wrong if I say this is a place where Hezbollah's rockets cannot reach, neither bomb can do any harm. And if I talk about this particular place, this fortified bunker is basically nerve center of Haifa. It's the nerve center of Israel. From here, they can see any threat coming towards Israeli side. They can decimate that threat. They can intercept that threat. And not only that, they can accordingly respond to that threat. That's what they can do.
Well, we showed you Lebanon, we showed you Israel, viewers. And now we take you across straight to Western Europe, where France and the United Kingdom, well, they're leading a fresh diplomatic push without the United States to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. That's right, French President Emmanuel Macron says the proposed mission will be strictly defensive. It will be made up of a coalition of non-combat nations amid the aimed at restoring safe shipping. Meanwhile, regional diplomacy, it continues. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian met Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir in Tehran, with Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi also present in attendance. Now, this is a signal that back-channel negotiations are active even as tensions remain high on the ground. Now, we speak of the repercussions. A UN report says that Sri Lanka is among the worst impacted countries in Asia-Pacific due to the ripple effects of the West Asia crisis. The report published by the United Nations Development Programme, or the UNDP, shows that Sri Lanka is highly exposed, as 80.2%, that's right, mark it, 80.2% of its migrant worker departures from the island nation in 2025 were to West Asia. And finally, the global economic impact, which we cannot overlook. Oil prices are slipping, with Brent crude falling below $98 per barrel in weeks. And well, the US crude is also seeing a sharp dip. Markets are reacting to hopes of de-escalation after US President Donald Trump hinted at a possible deal with Iran and even suggested a longer-term pause on Tehran's nuclear ambitions. Well, now we shift our focus to the United States, where President Donald Trump's Buy American, Hire American slogan has just hit a massive roadblock. Or should I just say it's hit a golf course? You see, while tech startups are being crushed by a new $100,000 fee, a secret meeting at Trump's Mar-a-Lago has just opened the floodgates for cheap foreign labor. That's right, let's just follow the money here. First up on your screens, now the Trump administration, as you see here, it's restored the 64,716 guest worker visas. Now, this has reverse planned to slash seasonal foreign labor. This decision followed intensive lobbying by private golf club managers at Trump's Florida properties, including his Mar-a-Lago golf course. Furthermore, now this visa quota was nearly doubled from the previous 35,000, directly addressing demands of hospitality businesses for low-wage labor. Now, this policy shift, as it stands, occurring after on-site lobbying, provides a side door for specific industry allies with broader immigration restrictions, which still remain in place. Meanwhile, the administration's reversal on H-2B visas also illustrates, like the graphic says here, it illustrates a prioritization of seasonal tourism needs over initial proposals to cut foreign labor. Now, the move directly benefits high-end leisure and hospitality firms, well, that reported critical staff shortages. Meanwhile, let's also take a stock of the current skilled H-1B visa status and where things stand there. First and foremost, a staggering $100,000 surcharge per visa has transformed the H-1B from a talent program into a massive government revenue trap. Now, this skills tax, or so-called skills tax, effectively penalizes companies, well, for hiring global experts, treating high-tech talent as a luxury rather than a necessity. Small tech firms, meanwhile, and also startups, if you ask me, are being priced out of the market. They're unable to compete with tech giants for critical engineers. So that's a big setback for not only small companies, but also startups. Meanwhile, the total applications for high-skilled roles have dropped by a whopping 15%. Now, this comes as the prohibitive costs force international talent to look for opportunities outside and beyond the US. This sharp decline marks a significant brain drain that threatens the very American leadership in artificial intelligence and even emerging softwares. You see, and finally, in a shocking shift, only 85 companies, less than 100 companies across America, were willing or even able in the first place to even pay this $100,000 surcharge to secure a visa. Now, the program has essentially become an exclusive club, leaving thousands of mid-sized American employers without any path whatsoever to hiring foreign specialists. And with that, viewers, it's time we step into a short break. But before that, very specially, here's the bottom line. Viewers, whether it's the H-1B that empowers our world-class engineers or the H-2B that supports global tourism, the world at the end only thrives when talent can move fairly. Even Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar in December argued that the limited H-1B visas, particularly aimed at increasing demand for technology talent, is counterproductive. Well, we here at NDTV only hope for a future where hard work and skill are valued above all else, ensuring that the sheer partnership between New Delhi and Washington stays strong, not just for today, not just for the next few years, not just for the few decades, but for the next generations to come.
If Lubasi was your son, you'd do anything to stop his suffering. He's in agony because he has an eye infection called trachoma. It's often spread by flies, like these. If Lubasi was your son, you'd take him to the doctor. But his parents can't afford to get him the care he so desperately needs. You can. When you give £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help save more children from agony like this and spare their parents the pain of watching their children suffer. Every month, you'll help our eye doctors get to some of the world's poorest and most remote villages. It's so simple to treat trachoma, but we urgently need your support to do it. So please call 0800 038 4920, text Site10 to 82727, or go to sightsavers.tv to give £2 a month to Sightsavers right now.
A little something for spring is coming your way from Tesco Mobile. A £20 gift card. Make it yours with our incredible 60 gig SIM for just £13 a month with club card prices, saving you £48. So switch today to our 60 gig SIM-only deal and enjoy a little extra this spring. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps.
We all know animals have feelings. They depend on kindness, just like you and me. So imagine how they feel when they're beaten, starved, and unloved. Every minute, the RSPCA is called on to save animals in physical agony and mental torment. It's unbearable to see the pain in their eyes. We refuse to give up on them, but to rescue them from a life of fear, we urgently need animal lovers like you to donate today. Please call 0800 121 4260 or text KIND to 84903 to give £2 a month to the RSPCA. Your gift will help fund more life-saving rescues, more emergency treatment, and more gentle rehabilitation. Every month, you'll be helping to keep animals free from pain and sadness, so they can find the comfort and joy they deserve. Right now, across the country, thousands are suffering deliberate harm. But together, we can show animals what kindness feels like. Together, we can rescue them. So please, call 0800 121 4260, text KIND to 84903, or visit our website to start your monthly donation today. Thank you.
Welcome back, viewers. Now we take you straight to the White House, where Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, well, he's back in the spotlight. But this time, without a title, without confirmation, and definitely without clear boundaries. According to reports, Kushner has joined Trump administration as a volunteer. There's no official designation, there's no Senate confirmation, yet there's direct access to whom? To the US president. How's this even possible? Here's a report.
Last time, he was a senior White House advisor, a formal face of the Trump administration. This time, Jared Kushner is operating in the shadows. No official post, yet a front row seat in global diplomacy. In early 2026, Kushner was brought back as Special Envoy for Peace. His brief? High-stakes negotiations. From Gaza to Iran to the Russia-Ukraine war, he's been in rooms with global power players, all without holding a formal government office. And now, Kushner calls himself a volunteer, says he has not technically joined the administration. He has no Senate confirmation, no official designation, yet direct access to the president. This matters because this basically means Kushner has influence without accountability. He's shaping negotiations that impact global conflicts, but without the transparency required for public officials. Power without paperwork. In Washington, roles like this don't usually exist. Top envoys are vetted. Financial disclosures are mandatory. But as a volunteer, Kushner sidesteps ethics filings, avoiding scrutiny over finances and potential conflicts. At the same time, Kushner is running his private equity firm, Affinity Partners, a firm backed by billions from Middle Eastern sovereign funds, including Saudi Arabia. That's right. Even as he negotiates in the same region, he's reportedly seeking billions more in investments. The White House rejects all allegations. It says Kushner is acting in the best interests of the American public and insists that there is no conflict of interest. But the bigger question remains, how long can an unofficial diplomat operate at the highest levels of power without oversight? Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Well, for years, viewers, we've watched from afar as scientists in Russia, China have vanished under mysterious circumstances. But now the mystery has come home to Washington. That's right. The US has officially joined the disappearance club. And well, the White House is under fire for what it knows, and more under fire for what it doesn't know and what it is not saying. Here's a report. The US is being shaken by a flood of high-stakes disappearances. 5 names now lead a list that has intelligence agencies on edge. William Neil McCaslin, a retired Air Force general, vanished from Albuquerque, leaving his phone and glasses behind. Monica Reza, a NASA JPL scientist who disappeared mid-hike on the Angeles Crest Highway. Melissa Casillas, a Los Alamos admin whose phone was found wiped clean. Anthony Chavez, another Los Alamos veteran who left his wallet and keys on the table before walking into the void. Stephen Garcia, a defense contractor seen on video walking away from his home armed, never to be seen again. But for some, the search ended in tragedy. Carl Grillmar, the Caltech astrophysicist, gunned down on his very own porch. Jason Thomas, body found in a lake months after vanishing. Nuno Nuriro, an MIT fusion expert killed in a brutal home attack. Frank Maywald and Michael David Hicks, both NASA JPL veterans whose deaths remain shrouded in silence with no cause disclosed. The Trump administration's tone shifted from silence to urgency this week. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt first confirmed a review of the cases, then President Donald Trump took it further.
As far as the scientists are concerned, we'll probably have a pretty good answer over the next week.
Is the White House hiding a breach of national security, or are they truly unaware of the pattern until now? As the 10-day deadline for answers looms, the families of these scientists and now other ordinary American citizens are waiting to see if the mystery is indeed solved or if the list only gets longer. Bureau Report, NDTV World. On to our quick take segment where billionaire, industrialist and philanthropist Gautam Adani, chairman of the Adani Group, has become Asia's richest individual. He's overtaken Reliance Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani. This is according to the latest Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Now, Gautam Adani's net worth rose to a whopping $92.6 billion, placing him 19th globally, while Mukesh Ambani slipped to the 20th position with a net worth of $90.8 billion. Now, the reshuffle at the very top highlights the ongoing volatility in global wealth rankings in 2026. That's this year. And this comes amid rising geopolitical tensions and market fluctuations. Over in the UK, a leaked document codenamed Exercise Turnstone has revealed contingency plans for a worst-case scenario where the Iran war, viewers, could cause a shortage of key supermarket goods. That's right. Now, the analysts suggest that the closure of the Strait of Hormuz could very well lead to carbon dioxide supplies falling to just 18% of current levels as they stand now. Such a shortage now would severely impact farming and hospitality, affecting the shelf life of foods, the slaughtering of livestock, and of course the production of fizzy drinks, potentially even disrupting the FIFA World Cup. Well, with that, it's time we slip into a short break. News and updates continue on the other side.
Dealing with my lot means making smart choices. And with our family growing, I want to make sure they're protected. That's why I'm with Smart Insurance.
You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age. All done over the phone for instant peace of mind and protection for your family. And we know family life doesn't wait. So as part of our Smart Family Guarantee, your loved ones are protected from day one. Plus, you'll also get your choice of £125 gift card.
To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Right now, terrible things are happening to donkeys. They work all day in the blistering sun, without food or water. They're suffering silently, while their backs are breaking. Some are being abandoned and will be left to die alone. But the worst thing you can do to a donkey isn't to break its body, it's to break its heart. Because donkeys are loyal, loving creatures. They trust us to care for them. And when they're hurt and abused, they feel it inside too. But right now, you can do something incredible for donkeys. You can support the Donkey Sanctuary. Just call 0800 035 9318 and give £2 a month. Because your support can help protect donkeys. You can help us to treat the sick and the injured. You'll help to mend broken hearts so that they can learn to love and trust again. Right now, so many working donkeys around the world are suffering. But we can only be there for them with your help. So please, call 0800 035 9318 or text HEART7 to 78866 and give £2 a month to the Donkey Sanctuary, because terrible things are happening to donkeys. Please, do something incredible for them right now.
Deborah, stop horsing around. Let's play Zebra Bingo. With branded bingo rooms like Fluffy Favourites Bingo, Deal or No Deal Bingo, and Clover Rollover Bingo. And more classic bingo games than you could shake your tail at. There's over £6.5 million in bingo prizes to be won every month on the Bingo Network. Come on, let's play Zebra Bingo.
Now that retirement is here, it's time for me to focus on the things that matter, like my family.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Elevate your lifestyle with Sharp's half-price sale. At Sharp's, our fitted furniture is always tailor-made and never modular. Many ranges are now half-price, including our must-have Manhattan range. Our exclusive Space Plus system means we won't be beaten on space. Plus, with our industry-beating 15-year guarantee, it's no wonder we're named which recommended provider for fitted bedroom furniture. Don't miss Sharp's half-price sale. Book your free home design visit today at sharps.co.uk.
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built in case anything happens to me. Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
Okay, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions, all done over the phone for instant peace of mind and protection for your family. And we know family life doesn't wait. So as part of our Smart Family Guarantee, your loved ones are protected from day one.
Sounds great. And it could help my husband with the mortgage. I'll go ahead.
For even more family protection, you can add cover for your children or critical illness. Plus, you'll also get your choice of £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 458 6908 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000. Get your conditional decision in minutes.
Now that retirement's here, it's time for me to focus on the things that really matter in life, like making sure my family can manage funeral costs when I'm no longer around. Which reminds me,
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000 when you pass away.
And that money could help cover my funeral costs or be a gift for my grandson. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free life insurance quote today, call our UK team on 0800 881 5090 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
At Vodafone, save up to £1,296 with Google Pixel 10 Pro when you trade in an eligible phone. Plus, you can simply press to talk it out live with Gemini, your AI assistant from Google. Hurry, offer ends the 29th of April. So, go in-store or online today. Vodafone.
That is something that we'll have to wait and watch. But now let's also take some breaking news. Home Minister Amit Shah all set to address the Lok Sabha in a few minutes from now. And this is just a few hours after Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, gave an extensive speech likening the Prime Minister to a trickster, a magician that he enjoyed in his childhood. He said that there is only one trick that people will believe you. And if you fail, then possibly you leave behind a legacy of mistakes. And he in fact alleged that the BJP government is just simply trying to do the same and trying to bring in so-called reforms in the guise of women's reservation, but actually only indulging in gerrymandering and electoral manipulation. My colleague Aishwarya joins us with more details on this. Aishwarya, 4 possible scenarios here. Bill gets defeated, Bill gets cleared, JPC, and of course a walkout by the opposition. What is possible, and how comprehensive is the Home Minister's speech going to be?
Well, certainly it is Home Minister Amit Shah who will clarify each and every doubt that has been raised by the opposition. Point by point is something that has been already stated, and more clarification to what has been raised by the southern state MPs as well. But what we are hearing from our sources is that the government might bring certain amendments as well in the women's reservation bill, as there has been multiple rounds of meeting that has taken place in the last couple of hours with top mantris doing hurdles and wanted to reach out to the opposition parties as well. They want every political party to come on board and to support the Nari Shakti. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also appealed to different politicians from all across the party line, to support this bill. But the opposition have been stating that they will be voting against this because they have linked it with delimitation, and women's reservation bill is not the main purpose. The agenda behind is to have a new electoral map on this political map in this country, and therefore the reason perhaps they will defeat this. How far this will go in some time from now, Home Minister Amit Shah will speak.
What is the chatter going around in the parliament? Because when I was there, it's very clear that there are, so many meetings that are happening. We also had, Amit Shah have a meeting with Ministers Piyush Goyal, Ashwini Vaishnav, Shivraj Singh Chauhan. You also had Nitin Nabin, the new BJP president, meeting general secretaries of the party, including Tarun Chugh and Vinod Tawde. There was a separate meeting that the speaker had with Amit Shah, the home minister. K.C. Venugopal and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra also went to meet the speaker. So clearly many back-channel talks are happening, or is there a sense that both sides are also trying to prepare for the fallout and consequences of whatever happens?
Well, certainly the sources have indicated to us that the government is preparing for the fallout of what is certainly going to happen after the entire voting process. If this falls, then what should be done by the government, and on the other side, how it is, as being said by different politicians from the government as well, that it would be opposition who would be responsible for not giving 1/3 reservation to the women if the bill doesn't get passed, and therefore the reason perhaps an olive branch is something that has been tried to reach out. There were hurdles that went on. Just now, it is Kiran Rijiju and Ashwini Vaishnav along with Nitin Nabin, JP Nadda met separately as well. There has been separate meeting which was going as far as the BJP organization is also concerned, with Nitin Nabin taking the charge. The message after this particular meeting, and NDA to hold a key meeting as well after the day's proceedings, and there all the NDA MPs have been called in, including the TDP MP, the LJP, the JDU.
It's going to be an interesting day today, and it's also verdict day for women's representation in India. But let's also tell our viewers as to how the numbers stack up now. NDA has, as we know, 293 MPs. The current strength of the Lok Sabha is 543. It's going to be increased to 850. That's what the proposal is. The opposition claims to have 180 MPs at least. It has 234 MPs is what we understand. The India bloc, the combined India bloc. And 2/3 majority is necessary for any party, for the ruling government, for the centre, to ensure any constitutional amendment gets cleared. And what the amendment to the 131st constitutional amendment, the bill, is something that needs not just a simple majority, it needs a 2/3 majority, which is why the magic number of 360 has to be there, which is something that the government, the NDA, does not have right now, which means that the 13 MPs who belong to smaller parties like YSRCP, BJD are not going to be enough for the government to actually reach out to. Several people from the opposition will also have to vote. In other words, if every single member of the NDA votes today for this bill, for clearing of this bill, for passing of the advancement of the women's reservation bill, and also for the delimitation bill, even then the NDA will probably fall short of numbers, which also brings us to the other big question. So what are the scenarios possible now? What are the possibilities that could take place today? First, of course, is what are the options that the government has? One, it could table the bill in the next session. It could withdraw the bill and have more consultations and prepare a different draft and then bring it about in the next session. But remember, the Delimitation Commission takes about 1.5 years to prepare its report, and that also has to be tabled in the parliament, which means all that the government is doing with regard to delimitation is also essential for the delimitation exercise to at least get started and get finished, at least to a certain extent, by 2029 Lok Sabha elections, which is when it wants the women's reservation to also kick in. The other option that the government has is to hold meetings, have feedback, have consultations with opposition parties ensure that, a part of what they're saying also gets included. Remember, one of the main demands of the opposition parties is to have this 50% increase in every state pro rata to be mentioned as an assurance in the bill. That is something they're asking for, and the government could be possibly doing that. Third is send the bill to a JPC. This has also been a demand of certain parties, including some parties which have been close to the BJP in the past. It could send it to the JPC. That's what we saw in the One Nation, One Election, poll example. And of course, the last is, the bill gets either defeated in its existing form, or it gets cleared, it gets passed if the opposition walks out. So these are the larger scenarios that could play out today. We'll have to wait and see how much of that happens, given that the Home Minister is all set to speak in a few minutes from now. Let's also listen in to what the Prime Minister said today.
देश की बहनों पर भरोसा करो ना, उनकी समझदारी पर भरोसा करो। एक बार 33% बहनों को यहां आने दो, आकर के उनको निर्णय करने दो, किसको देना है, किसको नहीं देना है, इस वर्ग को देना, उस वर्ग को देना, करेंगे वो निर्णय। हम उनके सामर्थ्य पर आशंका क्यों करते भाई? एक बार आने तो दो, उनको आने तो दो।
Now, what is being attempted here is a bypass of the caste census. What they are trying to do is they are trying to avoid giving power, giving representation to my OBC brothers and sisters, and to take away power from them. This is the agenda over here. That's the first agenda. Manuvad over Samvidhan. Amit Shah ji says that the caste census has begun. And he repeated twice yesterday, trying to be clever, saying that houses don't have castes. The point is not whether houses have castes or don't have castes. The point is whether the caste census is going to be used for representation in Parliament, Vidhan Sabha, Lok Sabha. The first truth is that this is not a women's bill. This is nothing to do with the empowerment of women. There is a women's bill. It was passed in 2023 in this house itself. And my friends and teachers in the BJP said that it will be implemented in 10 years' time. That is the women's bill. This is an attempt
कि आपने इस विषय पर सरकार की ओर से मेरा पक्ष रखने का मुझे मौका दिया है। इसके साथ साथ मैं इसलिए भी धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं कि आप इस सदन के अभिभावक हैं। आपकी ही निसरा में सदन की कार्यवाही, सदन के नियम और संविधान के हिसाब से चलती है। ये महत्वपूर्ण संविधान संशोधन बिल पर आपने करीब 130 सदस्यों को बोलने का मौका दिया है और ऐसे जैसे अभी आपने बताया, इसमें से 56 सदस्य महिलाएं हैं। वो एक प्रकार से बहुत बड़ा रिकॉर्ड शायद बनेगा, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
संविधान संशोधन 33 का है, संविधान संशोधन 33 का, लेकिन 75% को मौका दिया है।
मान्यवर, इस चर्चा को अगर बारीकी से कोई शब्दों में ही सुनेगा तो महिला आरक्षण के लिए जो संविधान संशोधन है, इसका किसी ने विरोध नहीं किया। सबने बोलने के लिए तो बोला है कि हम महिला आरक्षण के पक्ष में है। ये संविधान संशोधन जो आया है उसका हम स्वागत करते हैं, मगर उसको बारीकी से देखें तो इंडी अलायंस के सभी सदस्यों ने अगर मगर किंतु परंतु इसका उपयोग कर स्पष्ट रूप से महिला आरक्षण का विरोध किया है। और मान्यवर कई जगह पे ऐसा दिखाई पड़ा कि विरोध हमारे दृष्टिकोण की जगह हमारे इंप्लीमेंटेशन के तरीके पर है। परंतु मैं इस सदन के माध्यम से देश की जनता के सामने स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं कि ये जो विरोध है वो इंप्लीमेंटेशन का नहीं है। ये विरोध केवल और केवल महिला आरक्षण का ही विरोध किया। और मान्यवर मैं ये बात को जब बोलता हूं तब मेरी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि इस सदन को इस बात से मैं कन्विंस करूं कि तरीकों का विरोध नहीं है, बिल के तत्व का, महिलाओं के आरक्षण का विरोध है। मान्यवर, ये 3 विधेयकों में धैर्य रखो भैया, धैर्य रखो। अखिलेश जी समझाओ जरा। मान्यवर, ये 3 बिलों में इसका उद्देश्य मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं। पहला उद्देश्य है सरकार का और हमारे नेता नरेंद्र मोदी जी का कि महिला सशक्तिकरण करने वाले इस संविधान सुधार को समयबद्ध तरीके से लागू कर 29 का चुनाव महिला आरक्षण के साथ कराया जाए। इसका दूसरा उद्देश्य है एक व्यक्ति एक वोट और एक मूल्य, इस सिद्धांत हमारे लोकतंत्र की नींव में जो हमारी संविधान सभा ने तय किया था, वो सिद्धांत के स्पिरिट को यहां पर लागू किया गया। मान्यवर, ये पूरे सदन में 543 सदस्य बैठते हैं। किसी की सीट में वोटर्स की संख्या 39 लाख है, किसी की 60,000 और ढेर सारी सीटें ऐसी हैं जो 70 के दशक में फ्रीज हो गए, तब से लेकर आज तक इतनी बड़ी हो गई है कि सांसद अपने मतदाता को अपना मुंह भी नहीं दिखा सकता, क्योंकि इतनी बड़ी आबादी को वो कैसे संभाल पाए। मान्यवर, जो मतदाता है उसकी अपेक्षाएं होती है, उनकी समस्याएं होती है और समस्याओं के निराकरण के लिए वो सांसद के पास भी जाना चाहता है, मिलना भी चाहता है। क्या इस सदन में